I always ace every single test, but sitting at the National Genius Selection exam, I freeze. I can't even read these questions, let alone solve them. My heart completely stops. I sneak a quick look around. Everyone else is writing furiously without stopping. Right then, panic sets in. Am I really the only person in this entire room who's totally lost? I force myself to read the test again. It is covered in bizarre symbols and insanely complex formulas. The only thing I can actually understand is the title at the top, detonation engine technology. Is this selection exam actually this crazy? I have never even heard of this tech. How am I supposed to solve this? What I don't know yet is that the proctor made a massive mistake. He handed me a secret research draft for a 6th-generation fighter jet instead of the actual test paper. Drenched in sweat, my chest tightens with frustration. Did all those years of studying and endless effort just go down the drain? Right as I am about to give up, a strange voice suddenly echoes inside my head. Detected test content is 6th-generation fighter jet detonation engine technology. Detected errors in formulas and blueprints. Initiating correction now. As the voice fades, a massive flood of complex symbols and advanced physics pours into my brain. My mind feels like a supercomputer running at full speed. The mysteries from a moment ago are suddenly crystal clear. I want to scream with excitement. I won't be handing in a blank sheet today. I grab my pen and start writing at lightning speed, but half the time is already gone. The other students have wrapped up the basic section, but they are completely stuck on the final boss questions. Everyone is scratching their heads in absolute misery. In this entire room, my pen is the only one that never stops. My frantic writing leaves everyone stunned. They must think I'm a prodigy solving equations that look like pure gibberish. Right at the very last second, I finally put my pen down and exhale. I couldn't finish everything because I ran out of both time and space. I only managed to write down the most vital principles. As the papers are collected, almost every student looks completely defeated, complaining that those last questions weren't even made for humans. When I walk out the gate, Miss Carter rushes over. How was it? Were they tough? I smile and tell her they were pretty hard, but I did okay. Beside me, Sophia, the prettiest girl in class, has teary eyes. I definitely failed, she whimpers. The final questions were too hard. Miss Carter comforts her, saying lots of other students struggled too. Couldn't finish either. Back at school, Principal Harris calls us 3 top students into his office for a debrief. Sophia is quiet, murmuring, I think it was just okay, I'm not confident. Marcus, however, looks mug. I wrote down everything I knew. I answer honestly, I think I did all right. Hearing this, the principal relaxes. He has always believed in me. Ever since I first enrolled here, I have topped every single exam, bringing great honor to our school. Hearing my positive response, he sighs with relief. You really are incredible. Those final questions were advanced math and Olympiad level. I only solved one and I thought it was close. I stare blankly. What advanced math and Olympiad problems? Sophia looks just as confused as I am. The exam questions, obviously. What is wrong with you? My mind goes completely blank. Weren't the questions about detonation, engine technology? The second I say this, the entire room freezes. Miss Carter thinks I'm joking and laughs. Don't play jokes like that in front of the principal. But I am genuinely baffled. Am I dreaming? The questions on my paper were definitely blueprints and formulas for a detonation engine. That is hilarious. You actually remembered the questions wrong. Marcus bursts out laughing. He has always hated losing to me, and now he has his chance. Did you fall asleep and dream up the whole test? A detonation engine, you think you could solve that, but Miss Carter looks worried. She can tell I'm not lying. What is going on? The official questions are already online, and there's no mention of engines anywhere. Did you go to the wrong room, Marcus? Sneers coldly. If you got the wrong paper, you're getting a 0. The test questions I had were truly absurd, way beyond high school level. I begin to doubt myself. This makes no sense. I walked in with everyone else, so how could I be in the wrong room? Sophia gently comforts me. Don't beat yourself up even if you aren't selected. We still have the National College Entrance Exam, and you can easily get into a great university. I am not confident either, so let's study together. I quickly shake off the disappointment. I have no clue what went wrong, but I still believe in myself. Besides, I just unlocked the Genius Insight system. Things are looking up. I refuse to believe I can't ace the college entrance exam. Meanwhile, in a high-security conference room, academic experts are gathered. Every single person grading these exams is a leading authority in their field. As head of the grading committee, Director Walker speaks. We urgently need to discover exceptional young talents, especially in aerospace engineering. The shortage of skilled minds is critical. Please grade carefully. We must find the absolute best. Everyone nods and gets to work. Soon, one expert stares at a test sheet in total confusion. The questions look nothing like the others, yet every single answer space is completely filled. How is this possible? The others crowd around. Despite the room being filled with elite academics, the content on this paper leaves them completely baffled. Detonation engine technology. Where did this even come from? Recognizing a serious issue, everyone turns to Director Walker. He sets down his pen and walks over. What is it? Look at this, Director. It was handed out by mistake, but every single answer is filled in. Director Walker feels his heart skip a beat. For a major national exam, an error like this is a massive deal. He quickly grabs the paper. Wait, isn't this my personal draft from yesterday? How did it get mixed up? Cold sweat breaks out on his forehead. This is incredibly unfair to the student. Even the elite aerospace academy can't solve these formulas. How could a high school senior possibly answer them? He glances down at the answers, and his eyes widen in pure shock. Detonation engine research is a massive global hurdle. Even after years of intense study, their own power formulas still have major flaws. But the formulas here are flawless, correcting every weakness. Director Walker feels struck by lightning. He rubs his eyes in utter disbelief. What is going on? Am I dreaming? The other experts exchange bewildered looks. Director, what is it? He has no time to explain, staring intently at every formula and line of data. Soon, his entire body begins to tremble. Get me a pen and paper now. His shout startles the room. The second he gets them, Director Walker hunches over the desk and begins calculating at breakneck speed. The others look on completely baffled. They don't understand what is happening. It's just a misplaced test paper. Sure, it is fully answered, but what could a high school kid possibly write that is useful? Yet looking at Walker's face, this is far from simple. Driven by curiosity, they crowd around. Within seconds, several aerospace propulsion specialists stare with wide open eyes. How is this possible? Was this actually written by a high school student? We only hear about this kind of genius in movies like a janitor solving problems left on a hallway chalkboard. I never thought we'd see it happen here. Deeply shaken, Director Walker finally stops and takes a deep breath to calm himself, but his face is flushed with pure excitement. Listen closely. Everyone hand over your phones right now. Nobody leaves this room. The moment those words leave his mouth, Director Walker calls the police department. Only now do the others realize that this test paper is extremely serious, but as elite experts, they have strong security awareness. Nobody asks questions. They simply sit down to continue grading, waiting for the lockdown to lift. Director Walker rushes back to the Aerospace Academy, immediately summoning every top specialist. Walker, weren't you supposed to be supervising the exam? Why the panic and why assemble us all? Deputy Director Bennett asks in confusion. Bennett, you have no idea. This test has brought us an unbelievable breakthrough. Bennett frowns and takes the sheet. The moment his eyes hit the first propulsion formula, his pupils dilate. You're not telling me this formula is correct? Yes, I ran a quick check to verify it. We need a full recalculation and supercomputer simulation. Walker hands over his notes. Look at this part. Make no mistake, the data further down gets even more terrifying. It is continuous detonation engine technology. Do you know what that means? Deputy Director Bennett sucks in a sharp breath. If these formulas are correct, it means we could skip the 6th generation fighter jet entirely and jump straight to the 7th. Director Walker nods firmly. I have already sealed the exam room. I rushed back here just to confirm the result. Then what? What are we waiting for? Let us go. Deputy Director Bennett is so excited his hands are trembling. Director Walker turns to the other experts. I hereby declare the Aerospace Academy under Level 1 classified status. The entire academy is on signal lockdown. All outside communication must be monitored in person by security personnel. I will now distribute assignments. Before the Aerospace Academy experts can fully process the shocking news, they are already deep in intense work. By midnight, not a single person has rested for a second, yet they all look completely wired, buzzing with pure excitement. Director, the formula verification is confirmed. No errors. Director, all verified. Data is correct. Director Walker slaps his thigh in excitement, his face glowing bright red. Quick run the supercomputer simulation. Let us see what kind of performance this detonation engine can unleash. The simulation results come out fast. Aircraft structural strength increases by 35%, and total weight drops by 16%, after adjusting the aircraft's exterior curve, reducing the drag coefficient by 7%. Director Walker and Deputy Director Bennett exchange a look. They both see shock in each other's eyes. Our country's 6th-generation fighter jet has matured in every area except engine technology. Everything else is essentially ready. Even a 1% improvement would be a huge breakthrough. But with this data, performance jumps by double-digit percentages. Unbelievable. If it were not for the supercomputer results, I would never have believed this was designed by a high school student. How does his brain even work? Are there really geniuses like this? Director Walker's heart is pounding, almost questioning reality. The most unbelievable part is that this technology is not something a high school student should ever have access to, but the proof is right in front of them. Deputy Director Bennett's face suddenly turns serious. A talent like this must be reported to the government immediately. This student must be protected, and no matter what we have to recruit him to our aerospace academy. Meanwhile, I have no idea about any of this. I still think I failed, but I am not giving up on myself. Even if I bombed this selection exam, the National College Entrance Exam is still ahead. With my grades, getting into a top university is no problem. And now that I have the Genius Insight system, my goal is not just getting in it, is scoring a perfect grade and becoming the national #1. Once I set my mind to studying, I throw myself into full review mode. Soon the day comes when the Genius class admission results are announced. All eyes are on Sophia, Marcus, and me. Miss Carter walks over, giving me a complicated look. By decision of the school leadership, your scholarship is being revoked. Hearing this, I look up in shock. I never expected the school to make such a sudden move. Sophia demands loudly why. Marcus, standing nearby, looks incredibly smug. The decision to revoke my scholarship is exactly the result of him pressuring Principal Harris. He gives a cold snort. Why someone who cannot even pick up the right exam paper does not deserve a scholarship. Sophia instantly catches on. Marcus, are you the one behind this? Yeah, I did it. What are you going to do about it? Sophia is furious. She turns to go confront Principal Harris. I grab her arm. Forget it. Let them take it. I do not care about the money. I am first in every exam and have gotten so many scholarships my hands are tired. Losing this is no big deal. Just then, someone shouts, "Look, the admission list is out. Sophia made it. She really is the goddess of my dreams. So amazing. Marcus is on the list too. 3rd in our grade. He really is impressive. Wait, what? Leo actually did not make it. Do not bother looking. Haven't you heard he got the wrong exam paper? Of course he did not pass. No way, what a shame. Many students feel sorry for me. They never expected that I, the one with the highest hopes, would not get in. Even though I already knew the result, I still cannot help feeling crushed. The exam paper had a mistake, but I am not even given a chance to retake it. I really cannot figure out how such an important exam could have such a basic error. Just as I am feeling down, recruitment officers from major universities all rush over. In their eyes, even a student who failed is still a hot prospect. Anyone selected for the Genius class exam has real skills. So even though I failed, I am still a top recruitment target for every major university. Would you like to come to Dongfu University? No college entrance exam required, with a full scholarship and free tuition. Dongfu University, our university is way better. We are the #1 school in the country. We offer everything Dongfu does. Come to the National Defense University. Serving the country is the highest honor. The recruiters all crowd around, offering incredibly generous terms. Seeing how sought after I still am, Sophia is genuinely happy for me. But Marcus, standing to the side, is going crazy with jealousy. Recruitment officers, before you admit him, I hope you will think carefully. His overall score is not even displayed, meaning he scored a 0 on this exam. From this, you can see his previous test scores might be fake too. If you admit him early, you are in for a massive disappointment. Hearing Marcus, the recruitment officers become very cautious, suspecting cheating. A 0 on this one means your issues are not small, Leo. Sorry, but we need to investigate further. Seeing his scheme work, Marcus shoots me a smug look, but my heart stays calm. Even without the system, I can easily prove myself in the college entrance exam. Now that I have the Genius Insight system, my life is on cheat mode. I do not care about these petty tricks. Meanwhile, at the Aerospace Academy, countless experts have eyes bloodshot from exhaustion. The final moment finally arrives. Everyone holds their breath as a notification sounds. The calculation results are finally complete. The continuous detonation engine achieves a maximum speed of Mach 13. It can sustain that maximum speed continuously for 500 hours. Normal cruising speed reaches Mach 7 with a runtime of 5,000 hours. Everyone gasps, rubbing their tired eyes, afraid they are seeing things wrong. Walker, am I dreaming? Is that detonation speed real? It should be, unless there is a computer glitch. A technician reports loudly, "Director, the computer is running perfectly. The data is completely accurate." Director Walker punches the air with all his strength. "If we can make this fighter jet a reality, our Air Force will be unmatched. If any country dares to provoke us in our waters again, we will make them taste the power of our Air Force. We will not just drive them away. We will make them kneel and surrender. As long as we do not invade, they should be counting their blessings." Honestly, at that kind of extreme speed, if we flew over other countries, they would probably think aliens were visiting us. But according to the calculation results, existing engine materials cannot support this performance. The fighter jet's materials and structure cannot handle that kind of speed. For a result like this, Director Walker is already mentally prepared. At such extreme speeds, no existing fighter jet material can withstand the stress. What a shame. If only we had better metal materials, this fighter jet would absolutely reach 7th generation standards. Deputy Director Bennett looks slightly disappointed. Director Walker's eyes flash with sharp light. We do not know how this high school student figured out such advanced aerospace engine technology, but since he could solve this, he might also solve the material problem. Either way, we must secure a talent like this. Deputy Director Bennett glances at the time and suddenly slaps his thigh in realization. We have been so focused on testing data, we completely forgot today is the Genius Class Admission Announcement Day. Director Walker smacks his forehead. "Look at my brain. No one is allowed to leave their post. We are going to the school to recruit him personally." Deputy Director Bennett nods. "Right, to guarantee his safety, going there ourselves is the best way. Let us also bring in National Security Bureau personnel. From this moment on, the Aerospace Academy is under Level 1 classified status. All grading staff must remain under surveillance. This technology is too important. Not a single detail can leak." "You are right. Let us move immediately. We will take the armed helicopter. Soon Director Walker and Deputy Director Bennett are aboard the Military Command's armed helicopter. Military Commander General Reed and National Security Bureau Chief Director Mitchell are both present. After 3 straight days of working without rest, Director Walker and Deputy Director Bennett can no longer stay awake. Giving a few instructions, they drop and fall fast asleep. General Reed and Director Mitchell are baffled. With such a massive operation, they are actually heading to a high school. "We were told the mission was top secret. Could my high school be hiding some massive mystery? What could bring 2 legendary Aerospace Academy directors here in person? This is crazy." On the school playground, everyone is heading back to class after checking the results. Getting 2 students admitted at once is huge for us, way more than most high schools ever manage. The overall scores are excellent, and even Principal Harris is beaming. Marcus actually passed meeting expectations. But even though I failed the Genius Class test, the one I had the highest hopes, for me regular grades are still top tier. Sure, getting into college is great for the school, just not as flashy as securing a Genius Class spot. Principal Harris claps his hands, telling everyone to use this as motivation, but right then a sudden alarm blares. An announcement orders everyone to evacuate the playground because a helicopter is landing. Confused Principal Harris steps forward to protest, demanding to know why a military helicopter is touching down at our school. The officer doesn't know either. It is just an order from high up. Some major VIP must be arriving. The police chief rushes over with his team at absolute top speed. Watching this, Principal Harris looks completely and utterly terrified. We are just a high school, so why does this feel like some massive anti-terrorism raid? Given the scale of this operation, something huge must be going down. The chaos naturally draws crowds of curious students to the windows. Within minutes, a military helicopter touches down right on our playground. Teachers and students are frozen in shock. Why is an armed chopper here? Are there terrorists hiding in our classrooms? What kind of crime happened? As the heavy rotors spin down, the vibration wakes up Director Walker and Deputy Director Bennett inside. They realize we have arrived. The police chief is already running over to greet them, desperate to find out what is going on. Over 20 National Security Bureau officers march out first, forming a perfect line on both sides of the door. Principal Harris has never witnessed anything this intense in his life. Trembling, he slowly steps forward to greet them. Director Walker steps off the chopper and immediately asks for me by name. Principal Harris is totally stunned. They came for one student. Does finding me really require this much firepower? They brought an entire armed military escort. No high school kid should attract this kind of extreme attention. Harris looks at me, a dark thought crossing his mind. Did I snap after failing? Did I hold a grudge and do something terrible to lash out? Harris shivers with pure dread. If I actually committed some major national crime, his career as principal is completely over. Walker snaps, demanding to know if I am here. Harris stammers a quick yes and promises to bring me over. His heart sinks, but he doesn't dare keep them waiting. He quickly orders Miss Carter to fetch me. Marcus watches, wearing a smug, malicious grin. He whispers that with this many troops, I am going straight to a maximum security prison for the rest of my life. But Sophia is terrified, gripping my arm with tearful, worried eyes. I put the pieces together. My exam answers must have triggered an alert at the very top. This is actually good news, so I stay calm. I squeeze Sophia's hand and give her a reassuring smile, whispering that I will be fine. The moment the directors spot me, they rush over, staring at me like I am a priceless treasure. I nod and explain that I didn't know it was the wrong test paper at the time. I just answered using my own theories. I only realized afterward that everyone else got standard questions while mine was all about the advanced detonation engine. Hearing my response, the directors have zero doubts left. This project was top secret, and there's no way a high school kid could know these formulas unless they solved them. Walker officially declares me admitted to the Aerospace Academy on the spot. I will receive elite-level treatment. Not only is my tuition fully covered, but I will get a full academician rank from day one. Director Walker is so incredibly hyped, his face is literally trembling. All his sleepless exhaustion from days of research instantly vanishes, giving him a rush, far better than any dose of adrenaline. Bennett smiles, telling me we have full authority here, so there is no need to be nervous. I tell them I have no special demands. I trust the nation, and my only goal is to help our country. I want to see our aerospace tech soar so high that no foreign power dares threaten us. That is my dream. So my answers were actually useful. They tell me it is incredibly vital. I promise to help them build the actual engine. Walker is blown away by how incredibly composed I am. Most kids would literally pass out from the shock of getting hand-recruited by the academy director. But my absolute calm just proves I know exactly what I am doing. The crowd of teachers and students eavesdropping on us are completely speechless. Why pull off this massive military recruitment just for one kid? Did getting a misprinted test paper really lead to this? The surrounding crowd exchanges, stunned glances, whispering about the secret detonation engine meant to help us resist global pressure. Our country has pinned all its Air Force hopes on this breakthrough. It is the key to unlocking 6th-generation stealth fighter jets, which will keep foreign adversaries from ever pushing us around. But this engine tech is insanely complicated. Director Walker has led top research teams for years, with barely any progress. Can a high school senior like me really crack the secret? It seems impossible. Did fate just hand our nation a once-in-a-generation genius? Walker is thrilled with my attitude. I do not just have raw talent. I have a deep love for my country, too. He can see my character is solid. The more he talks with me, the more he likes me. Walker smiles at Harris, saying I am officially admitted and that they are taking me right now. Bennett chimes in, joking that Walker cannot keep me all to himself. He asks if I would like to study under both of them. They promise to pass down everything they have learned over their entire careers. He guarantees that at the academy, I will basically run the place. The crowd gasps. Walker and Bennett are the most respected scientists in the country. If they claim to be second best, nobody else would dare claim first. Getting mentored by just one is a dream, but being taken in by both is an absolute miracle. It takes Principal Harris a few seconds to process the news. He quickly agrees, saying my admission is a massive honor for the high school and that he will handle the paperwork immediately. A pleased Walker looks at me, eager to start asking questions. Leaving right now, I haven't even told my parents. I did not expect things to move this fast. Even if I am admitted, I need to let my family know and pack some clothes. But Walker explains my identity is now highly classified and requires protection. They promise the government will look after my family. I agree to follow their lead. As I step toward the chopper, I remember Sophia. I tell them about my classmate with excellent grades and ask if she can join the academy too. Walker hesitates, saying their admission process is incredibly strict, requiring top talent. But since I asked, he agrees that if she meets their baseline standards, they will take her. If her scores do not make the cut, they cannot bend the rules. It is a matter of strict principle. He asks for her name to run a quick check, promising priority admission if she qualifies. I turn to look at Sophia. Her face instantly lights up with absolute shock and pure joy. I introduce her as Sophia, noting she already got into the genius class, so her grades are definitely high enough. Bennett nods agreeably, promising to take care of it right away. Standing nearby, Marcus looks ready to burst with pure rage. His family used every ounce of their influence to sabotage me, and yet it all backfired. He cannot wrap his head around how a high school senior like me solved a literal rocket science formula. As he questions reality, I board the military helicopter. Under everyone's stunned gaze, the chopper lifts off and takes flight. Harris finally snaps out of his daze, shouting to update the school banners. We produced 3 absolute geniuses this year. Inside the cabin, Walker and Bennett eagerly explained that they ran my engine formulas through a supercomputer. The simulation showed the aircraft reaching Mach 17, but no known metal can withstand that intense heat and pressure. They ask if I have any ideas for a stronger material. I tell them standard metals are useless. We will need to develop a super composite alloy. I calculated this material myself, but the data is solid. Under the right conditions, we can absolutely produce it. Director Walker gasps. What temperature can it withstand? I pause to think for a moment. With current tech, our best materials only survive around 4,000 degrees long term. Deputy Director Bennett looks absolutely shocked. If this is true, it won't just revolutionize aerospace. Even nuclear fusion is going to skyrocket. Fusion could advance overnight. They don't doubt me despite my young age. After all, I'm the first to ever master detonation engine tech. In quite a few areas, I've already completely surpassed both of them. As for how I know all this simple pure genius, I'm literally the only person on Earth holding this technology. Director Walker says excitedly, "Let's get back to the Aerospace Academy. We'll build you a personal lab right away. We'll set it up at lightning speed. Anything you need is yours. If we can actually build the tech you described, it'll be the ultimate service to our nation." "I'll do my best," I reply. They keep drilling me on fighter jet tech, and the more we talk, the more stunned they get. My depth of knowledge blows theirs out of the water. Director Walker and Deputy Director Bennett trade a look. Pure disbelief stares back at them. The theories and insights I casually drop are decades ahead of their current research. Now they know for a fact I'm a once-in-a-millennium genius. General Reed and Director Mitchell can't grasp the technical formulas, but they get the main point. A fighter jet flying at double-digit Mach speeds, unbelievable. Now they finally see why I'm being treated with such absolute importance. They realize no amount of military escort is too much. A national treasure, like me, deserves maximum security. Meanwhile, back at my house, my parents just got a stressful call from my school. They just learned my scholarship was revoked because I supposedly flunked the exam. Both of them are deeply worried. I've always gotten straight. Ace show could I lose to anyone? My mom is devastated, but my dad tries to stay positive, saying, "My health and happiness are all that matter." Just then, a knock rattles the door. The neighbors crowd in. Today is the Genius Class Results Day, and they're sure I made it. "You owe us all a celebratory dinner," they cheer, but Mom looks miserable. Seeing them so excited only hurts her more. Leo failed. He wasn't chosen. Mom doesn't care about saving face. She tells them the hard truth. The neighbors gasp in shock, unable to believe their ears. Dad forces a weak smile. "It's true he didn't make the cut. Miss Carter just called us." Instantly, the mood in the room shifts. A few show real sympathy, some couldn't care less, and others are secretly thrilled. Suddenly, a smug voice cuts through. His boy used to be in my son's class, but he was always at the absolute bottom. A middle-aged neighbor snorts. They even took back his scholarship. Did the school finally realize he's been cheating this whole time? People have always been jealous of me because my top grades left no room for their resentment. But today, they finally get to gloat right in front of my parents. Sure, my boy dropped out of middle school, but he runs his own shop and clears $10,000 or $20,000 a month. What's the point of school anyway? A basic job pays peanuts. My parents are absolutely seething. "We're not jealous of your son's success, but calling school useless is absurd. Do any of your kids actually have decent grades?" The neighbor's face turns red. He has good grades, but he still got rejected, didn't he? Why not just send him to work at my son's shop and earn some real cash? Dad's face darkens as anger boils up inside him. "All right, everyone needs to leave. We're going to the school to check on our boy." The neighbor scoffs on her way out. "Seriously, what's the big deal about grades? He still failed. After graduation, he'll just be working odd jobs." She keeps muttering as she walks away. But the moment the neighbors step outside the building, they hear loud gongs and drums. It's definitely not a wedding. A massive group of government officials is marching up, and the leaders are carrying a giant banner. Everyone stares in total confusion. Didn't they just say he failed and lost his scholarship? What's going on here? Soon, the celebratory parade stops right below my family's apartment. The neighbor women who were just laughing at us suddenly look incredibly awkward. Didn't they say his scholarship was canceled? The lead official frowns heavily. Who is spreading such absolute nonsense? Leo performed exceptionally. He placed first in the entire exam and has been recruited by 2 aerospace academy directors at once. He's the pride of our city and nobody's allowed to slander him. When my parents see the massive congratulatory banner, they freeze in sheer shock. What on earth is happening? Didn't the school literally just call to say he failed? Principal Harris, terrified of being exposed quickly, chimes in with a total misunderstanding. Because your son performed so exceptionally, his results were kept classified. The school board has awarded him a scholarship of 300,000 won, and the city is adding a 1 million won reward. Mayor Foster steps forward to shake my dad's hand. Hello, I'm Mayor Foster. Thank you for raising such an outstanding talent for our nation. His secretary hands over the official awards, and the mayor personally presents them. My parents' heads are spinning. They mechanically accept the medal and the giant check, completely forgetting to invite everyone inside. The neighbors who were just mocking me quietly slink away in shame. Mayor Foster smiles. Your son is officially entering the Aerospace Academy. Don't worry about a thing. If you face any issues at home, let us know. You can call my personal line directly. After sitting for a short while, the mayor stands to leave. Once the crowd departs, my parents still feel like they're dreaming. What they don't know is that undercover operatives have already rented apartments in our building to provide heavy security. Meanwhile, the military helicopter I'm riding in touches down at the Aerospace Academy. The entire compound is under lockdown with my safety as the absolute top priority. I travel only in armored vehicles with dozens of elite guards flanking me around the clock. A special forces unit is on standby to protect me at a moment's notice. Even my meals are prepared by designated staff and undergo 3 separate security checks before serving. Director Walker and Deputy Director Bennett kept talking with me the whole journey, their excitement building. They showed zero fatigue, their faces glowing. Immediately upon arrival, they gathered the entire engineering team. This is the genius who designed the detonation engine tech on his exam. From today, he officially joins the Aerospace Academy as our personal student. Furthermore, I am appointing him as the chief engineer of the entire detonation engine program. The technical experts had been eagerly waiting for me. While they've managed to acquire some critical data and formulas, those alone aren't nearly enough to actually build the engine. Countless major challenges remain unsolved, which is why they're pinning all their hopes on me. They want to manufacture this revolutionary engine as fast as humanly possible, so they applaud warmly to welcome me. I'm absolutely thrilled too. This is exactly what I've always dreamed of. Armed with the Genius Insight system, I've bypassed the normal path and brought game-changing tech. But I never expected Director Walker to make me the chief engineer. I bow deeply to the room. Hello, everyone. I'm honored to work with you all. Please guide me. My experience doesn't compare to yours, but I will give this everything I have. Right then, Director Walker asks, the detonation engine generates unbelievable thrust during sudden acceleration. I'm worried no human pilot can survive those extreme G-forces. Does that mean these fighter jets can only be flown remotely? I smile faintly. Just equip our pilots with anti-gravity flight suits. They'll protect the pilot's body perfectly. Designing a flight suit that can cancel out 90% of the gravity forces is entirely possible. Director Walker gasps. If this anti-gravity suit can really negate 90% of gravitational force, wouldn't that unlock speeds past Mach 20? That means the extreme speeds generated by our continuous detonation engines could easily be handled by the pilots. Our fighter jets would completely outrun most modern missiles. Even intercontinental ballistic missiles only reach those speeds in their final phase. So even if our enemies launch a missile strike, our jets could literally intercept it in midair. Director Walker and Deputy Director Bennett look at each other totally dumbfounded. I nod confidently. It's entirely possible. During my exam, my genius insight allowed me to figure out the need for an anti-gravity suit. My focus back then was purely on the engine itself, but given enough time, I can use my system to fully map out the anti-gravity suit technology as well. Director Walker's eyes light up. We must build these 6th generation and 7th generation fighter jets, whatever the cost. This suit is the missing key. I nod immediately. Understood. I won't let you down. Director Walker turns to the room of experts, his expression deadly serious. Listen up, everyone. Take a day off and rest. I was just getting warmed up, expecting us to dive straight into intense development work. Why is everyone going to sleep? This decision feels so sudden. Deputy Director Bennett explains with a wry smile, to study the technology on your exam paper. We have gone 3 days and nights without any rest. I am left speechless. Only now do I notice their bloodshot eyes. Then please rest immediately. How can you hold up without sleep for so long? I will have someone take you to your quarters. Once we are rested, we will begin. Exhausted, the tech experts quickly head back to the dorms to sleep. Since the project is highly classified, the Aerospace Academy has private dorms with professional staff. Soon, a young woman in her early 20s wearing a National Security Bureau uniform is brought straight to me. She is tall with an icy expression, looking incredibly aloof. This is your personal guard assigned by our department, they tell me. Her name is Vanessa, and she will handle your daily needs and safety from now on. Vanessa reaches out first. Hello, nice to meet you. I shake her hand and immediately notice her grip is incredibly firm, nothing like a typical girl's soft hand. My dormitory is a spacious apartment, beautifully decorated. The living room windows are fully bulletproof and tinted for complete privacy. Vanessa asks if I need to rest. No, I reply, just get me some blank paper pens and a ruler. I am starting right now. Vanessa quickly gathers the supplies. I grab a pen and focus entirely on the anti-gravity flight suit design. System notification player is contemplating anti-gravity suit. Tech initiate epiphany. Without hesitation, I accept. A massive wave of data floods my brain. I grab my pen, writing furiously and filling sheet after sheet with complex formulas, precise figures, and detailed schematics. Seeing me in full work mode, so suddenly surprise flickers across Vanessa's icy, beautiful face. She clearly did not expect someone so young on their first day at the academy to focus so deeply and dive right into the project. This level of focus is incredibly rare. Despite her cold demeanor, Vanessa knows how to take care of someone. She brews me a fresh cup of coffee, places it beside my desk, and brings over some fresh fruit and nuts. After arranging everything, she sits quietly in the chair beside me watching. Before long, hunger kicks in. I instinctively sip the coffee, keep writing, and blindly reach for the snacks and nuts. Utilizing the built-in Genius Insight system for deduction pushes my brain to its absolute limits, causing my energy levels to plummet. 2 hours fly by without a single pause. I have devoured every last snack she put out. Watching this, Vanessa is stunned. Maintaining such fierce focus for hours is almost supernatural. When she first got this assignment, she was slightly skeptical. After all, I am just a high school student. But now, the reality is right before her. She never expected me to be this impressive. Vanessa doesn't waste time wondering. She quickly refills my water, brings more snacks, then steps into the living room to order meals that support brain function. After hanging up, Vanessa returns to the study. Her orders are to guard me 24 hours a day. Soon the food arrives. Vanessa samples every dish to ensure it is safe, then places them on my desk. Time flies as I work at full speed, the blueprints steadily piling up, forming a small mountain on the desk. I have numbered every sheet in the corner, otherwise sorting them alone would be a nightmare. Vanessa's initial surprise deepens into pure shock, her beautiful eyes wide with awe. She wants to urge me to rest, fearing this brutal pace will destroy my health. But then she recalls Director Mitchell's strict orders. I must not be interrupted under any circumstances during my work. A sudden flash of genius can shatter a massive technical barrier, and if interrupted, that inspiration is lost forever. Right now, I am clearly riding a massive wave of inspiration. Vanessa does not dare disturb me. She silently refills my food and water, keeping my engine fueled. By now, her perception of me has shifted completely. She is deeply shaken to her core. Deep into the night, the only sound is my pen scratching against paper. A relentless torrent of knowledge floods my brain. If I do not write it down immediately, it becomes overwhelming. By dawn, I have emptied over a dozen plates of food. Vanessa is speechless, utterly awed by my performance. Since I have a rather slender build, she cannot comprehend where it all goes. Am I an engineering genius or some champion eater? At 7 a.m, I finally stop. I collapse heavily into my chair, entirely numb and aching all over. Vanessa, who is taking light naps to keep watch, is jolted awake by the sound of me stopping. She rushes over, unable to hide her worry. You work like your life depends on it. You have been going nonstop for over 20 hours. She reaches over to activate the chair's massage function and gently kneads my tense shoulders. Should I get you some breakfast? You have to rest right after, she says, with genuine care. Though we met yesterday, she already fully believes I am a top-tier talent. Right now, my brain's completely fried, and exhaustion hits me like a tidal wave. I shake my head. No need. I am not hungry, just exhausted. I am going to pass out. No need to watch me go get some sleep yourself. I stumble into the bedroom and collapse into a deep sleep. Vanessa watches me, unsure whether to laugh or sigh. True geniuses really are absolute madmen. Meanwhile, the other Academy experts sleep for a full day and night, finally recharging. Next on their agenda is development work on the detonation engine and the 6th-generation fighter jet. They all report to their workstations on time, eager for assignments. Everyone is pumped, thrilled about the upcoming breakthroughs for the new jet. Director Walker and Deputy Director Bennett look especially rested and full of energy, practically grinning. But once the team gathers, they realize I am the only one missing. Director Walker says, "Let us first review our current materials." The basic model of the detonation engine tech no longer has major obstacles. He immediately delegates tasks to each department. But after waiting all morning, I still have not shown up by lunchtime. Director Walker and Deputy Director Bennett begin to worry. Is he sick? Let us go check on him. During the lunch break, they head over to my dorm. Vanessa, now fully rested and energized, hears a knock and goes to open the door. Director Walker. Director Bennett. Seeing them. Vanessa is surprised. Is Leo in? Vanessa nods. Why is he not at work? Did something happen? Walker's eyes are filled with deep concern. He worked straight through from yesterday until this morning. He finally collapsed from exhaustion and is still fast asleep. The two directors exchange a puzzled look. He has not even officially started yet, so what was he researching? Let us take a look. They step into the study where blueprints are piled high like a mountain on my desk. Their eyes instantly widen in shock. This is unbelievable. Did he draft all of these by himself? Vanessa nods. Yes. I did not want to disrupt his work, so I left everything untouched. The two directors can no longer keep their composure. They rush forward, grabbing the blueprints to examine them. After just a few seconds, Director Walker begins to tremble with intense excitement, his voice quivering. This is actually the anti-gravity flight suit. Deputy Director Bennett's jaw drops, his hands trembling as he holds the sheets. This is absolute madness. Such a massive project, and he completed it entirely on his own. Quick, gather these up. We must verify every detail immediately. If this technology actually works, the future of our aerospace program is limitless. The three of them spend half an hour organizing the sheets. The two senior researchers forget everything else, huddling over the desk to study the schematics, which contain complete data and manufacturing processes with every individual part illustrated in perfect detail. As top industry experts, they can instantly tell the design is solid. They grab scrap paper to run calculations by hand, completely forgetting about their hunger until well past 3 in the afternoon. When they finally look up, their stomachs are rumbling loudly. Do you have any food? We missed lunch and are starving. Vanessa quickly serves them the tea and snacks. Earlier, watching these two prestigious men lose all composure and inhale the food, Vanessa is left speechless. She had offered them refreshments earlier, but they brushed her off immediately. Now they were practically starving. After clearing both plates, Director Walker grabs a batch of schematics. When Leo wakes up, let him know we borrowed these. Deputy Director Bennett scoops up another stack. They had to dissect every single detail of those blueprints, immediately rushing to build the anti-gravity flight suit. With this gear, even current 5th-generation fighter jets would unlock a massive, unprecedented leap in combat power. Aside from stealth, 5th-generation fighter designs are heavily bottlenecked by the pilot's physical endurance. Standard pilot requirements have grown incredibly strict over the years because ordinary people simply cannot handle the extreme strain. They cannot survive the brutal G-forces of sudden acceleration or tight turns. But with this anti-gravity suit, those physical barriers vanish, lowering the entry requirements for military pilots drastically. Aviators can push 5th-generation jets to their absolute mechanical limits without restraint. Their tactical performance will skyrocket instantly, closing the gap with rival air forces. Compared to building a complex 6th-generation fighter manufacturing, this suit first is a much safer bet. The two men are completely spent wheezing for air, yet they lug over 100 pounds of blueprints back to the office, moving like the wind. At the Aerospace Academy, technical experts stare in confusion as they watch the pair carry the massive stack. The startled assistant gasps, "Director, why are you carrying something so heavy at your age? What are you doing? Have you forgotten your health?" Director Walker is wheezing too hard to speak. Waving off his assistant, he takes several deep, ragged breaths before finally gasping out, "Summon all technical staff to the conference room immediately." It is an emergency meeting and no exceptions are allowed. The assistant has never seen them this panicked. Did something break? Is there a fatal flaw in the fighter jet? Hearing the urgent summons, the experts drop everything and rush in. People whisper anxiously, trying to guess what is happening. Once the room fills, Director Walker and Deputy Director Bennett walk in. Two assistants follow, lugging the heavy blueprints onto the podium, drawing everyone's immediate attention. The room goes dead silent. Every eye is glued to them. Walker speaks up. "Listen, everyone. I have incredible news. Chief Engineer Leo designed an anti-gravity suit yesterday. We are assigning roles now. We must finish this project within 1 month. The room instantly erupts. The awe from his revolutionary detonation engine has barely settled, and now he has built an anti-gravity suit. This pace of innovation is completely insane. Is this a joke? Can someone actually design such complex tech in a single day and night? Is it safe? And we are starting production immediately. His sheer talent makes me feel like a complete piece of garbage. I earned a doctorate from the top technical university. For crying out loud, someone grumbles in frustration. These elites are the pillars of national defense, but lately, their confidence has been utterly shattered. It is ridiculous. Hearing the commotion, Director Walker taps the microphone. Quiet, please. I know this is hard to swallow, but the proof is right here. We went through the blueprints, and there is not a single mistake. Even the core formulas were personally verified by Bennett and myself. If we follow these blueprints to the letter, we will build a flight suit that defies imagination. Deputy Director Bennett steps up to add, foreign powers are squeezing us hard. We have no time to waste. Director Walker begins handing out assignments. Each division gets a section, and the completed parts will be brought together for final testing. From this hour, the country's entire industrial might is focused on the Aerospace Academy. Whatever they request will arrive instantly, regardless of cost. Meanwhile, as evening falls, I finally wake up after a long, deep sleep. Running high-intensity brain calculations drains my mental battery completely, but the payoff is incredible. After resting, my mind feels sharper than ever. The second I sit up, I startle Vanessa, who has been keeping watch beside me. You are finally awake. Are you hungry? I rub my stomach. I am actually starving. I quickly wash up, sit down, and dig in. While eating, I ask, I was out for so long, were the directors worried? She smiles. Walker and Bennett came by to check on you. They took the blueprints you drafted yesterday to study them. They said if you woke up late, just rest. Starting tomorrow is perfectly fine, and they will call if they hit a wall. I nod. The blueprints are packed with detailed steps and raw data ready for direct manufacturing. With the Academy's expertise, they should not run into any issues. I should finish my dinner first, then start mapping out the detonation engine tech. After my last experience, I cannot run too many epiphanies at once, or my brain will literally fry, or I would need days to recover. Once I finish eating, I head to my study and boot up the computer to wind down. The systems here are heavily encrypted, requiring biometric fingerprint checks, iris scans, and secure passwords to gain access. I follow the prompts, type in my password, and finally get in. Opening a browser, I see the top trending news is still about the Genius class admissions. Any school getting a student in becomes an overnight national sensation. The comments are full of congratulations and envy. Of course, foreign critics are already throwing shade. They mock us, claiming our domestic tech will never truly catch up, no matter how hard we try to compete. This naturally sparks massive flame wars in the comment section. I scroll for a minute, then close the tab. Suddenly, a unique desktop icon catches my eye, the Secure National Science and Technology Forum. On the drive over, Director Walker mentioned that this network runs on an ultra-secure intranet. Only verified high-tier researchers can log in to share theories. Whenever someone hits a brick wall or an unsolvable puzzle, anyone offering a breakthrough can apply for a massive state bounty. This system works incredibly well, allowing the country's brightest minds to coordinate, brainstorm, and level up together. It has already helped dozens of labs crack massive bottlenecks and boosted research efficiency tenfold. It even uncovers hidden geniuses, placing them straight into critical state projects. Intrigued by what our top experts are debating, I launch the site and sign up. Browsing the active threads, I see the biggest discussions revolve around aerospace microchips, high-precision manufacturing, and advanced materials. We have closed the gap significantly in general fields, but these key sectors are heavily choked by foreign embargoes and trade sanctions. Finding a breakthrough here is absolutely critical. Suddenly, one specific thread catches my eye and grips my full attention. Because my profile has maximum clearance, I can view every single hidden answer and post directly. The discussion is a detailed analysis of missile dynamics, specifically exploring how atmospheric drag impacts the hull and how to redesign the aerodynamics to guarantee pinpoint target strikes. Modern warfare demands extreme targeting precision, a massive hurdle that has stumped some of our absolute best engineers in the defense sector. Even elite mathematicians brought in for calculations are completely drowning in the data offering clashing formulas. The biggest wall they have hit is the infamous Stokes equation, one of the 7 Millennium Prize challenges. Global scholars can only approximate solutions to match real-world tests. I know exactly how vital missile superiority is to our defense. Today, advanced missiles are the ultimate deterrent, even beating manned jets. They are faster to develop and can strike targets deep in hostile territory, whereas modern military jets are incredibly complex and resource-intensive. If I can crack this formula, our strike precision will keep enemies at bay permanently. Plus, the math carries over to high-speed jets and stealth drones. With that in mind, I choose to spend my evening solving this equation. Genius Insight System run a full deduction on the Stokes equation. System activated calculation initialized. I ask how long the mental simulation will take. If it is too heavy, I will process it in parts to avoid slowing down my primary projects. If it only takes a couple of hours, though, I am good to go. Epiphany time is estimated at 3.5 hours. I agree to run the full simulation tonight. My fingers fly across the keys as I input the streaming data and complex formulas. I really want to lend my strength to upgrading our country's missile defense. By this time, most researchers have clocked out and headed home, making the forum highly active. During their downtime, they log on to Trade Ideas Talk Shop and seek answers to their toughest challenges. Right now, a group of missile defense specialists are debating in a thread. This math is brutal, one writes. With interception systems evolving so fast, our requirements are through the roof. We do not just need pure velocity. We have to outmaneuver active defenses. That requires pinpoint precision. Tell me about it, another replies. Command is breathing down our necks to ship this technical update, but it is just completely impossible without solving the Stokes equation. Meanwhile, foreign powers are flexing their muscles again. Word is they are planning joint naval drills right on our border. To deter them, we must push our rocket tech to the absolute limit. After over 3 hours of focus, I compile all the completed formulas, do a quick pass for errors, and hit upload. It is already midnight. I power down my PC and head to bed. The missile and math experts just wrapped up their talks and were heading to bed. Suddenly a notification flashed. Someone had posted a solution to the famous Stokes equation. The experts stared in shock, then they sneered in disbelief. How could anyone just drop the ultimate answer on a public forum? At the very least, you write a paper and announce it to the world. Let us see who is being so arrogant. I was about to sleep, and now some random post woke me up. After all, this is a highly rigorous national tech forum. You cannot just share random ideas. Everything must withstand strict scientific scrutiny. Several top experts opened the solution at the exact same time, scanning for errors with absolute contempt. If it was fake, they would report it immediately to teach the poster a lesson about academic rigor. But the further they read, the more shocked they became, especially the two legendary mathematicians from our country known as the supreme giants of the field. Professor Hudson and Professor Zane both possessed profound mathematical expertise and enjoyed massive reputations even abroad. The more they read, the more astonished they grew. Their hearts pounded so hard they nearly leaped into their throats. Although they did not know how to solve the equation themselves with the correct answer, they could easily reverse verify its correctness. They went through it once, still feeling uncertain, then checked again. The result was identical. This truly was the solution to the Stokes equation. With trembling hands, Professor Hudson picked up the phone. Zane, it is me, Hudson. His voice shook. Get on the National Technology Forum right now. Someone has actually solved the Stokes equation. Professor Zane was equally thrilled. I am looking at it. I have verified it twice. It is completely accurate. Who on earth is this in our entire country? Aside from the two of us, who else has this level of ability? Professor Hudson gave a bitter smile. I have researched this my whole life, only to be beaten. Do we really have a mathematician like this in our nation? I never imagined there was someone like this in our circle. We must find this person right away. This is absolutely a mathematical genius, and we must nurture this talent. Professor Zane was anxious. Although they had mentored many brilliant students, not one had shown any chance of surpassing them. They did not want any regrets. Their greatest hope in life was to find someone with mathematical talent far beyond their own and pass on everything they had learned. They taught genius-level students, but none met their expectations. Even a top high school senior could never reach such depth since their focus was strictly on preparing for the college entrance exam, studying only basic high school material. A world-class problem like the Stokes equation was not something a high school senior could ever access, so they only searched for people from the math world. But strangely, no one had ever heard of my name. The two of them were tearing their hair out with anxiety, desperate to meet this genius and have a satisfying mathematical discussion. Other mathematicians soon discovered the answer too. Solving a problem of the century like this was an event that would shake the entire world. But after asking around, they found that no one in the circle knew this person. Could someone be using a fake name that was impossible? Everyone on this forum was a verified authority in their field. Real names were strictly required. Because the Aerospace Academy had sealed off all information and had not publicized me, no one had any idea. Out of options, the experts could only post questions online. The forum exploded instantly. Solving the Stokes equation meant worldwide attention, and the person who solved it would be permanently recorded in history. The news spread incredibly fast. Within just a dozen minutes, almost every expert browsing the forum learned about the event. This is unbelievable who is spreading these rumors. You do not know Professor Hudson and Professor Zane have both already verified it. The entire forum was asking about my identity. The experts had completely lost their sleepiness. Without finding this person, how could they possibly sleep? Professor Hudson and Professor Zane asked everyone they knew, but got no answers. They were completely lost. Even their private messages to me received no reply, which drove them crazy with anxiety. Zane let us just call the administrator. They can locate this person's workplace and even his exact location. We must contact this person tonight, Professor Hudson said firmly. Even people who had already turned off their phones and gone to bed were called and woken up, told that someone had successfully solved the Stokes equation. Professor Zane asked, "Should we tell the leadership this great news? He has been worried sick about improving missile precision. We should tell the director immediately and recruit this talent. I bet with this person's ability, our nation's missile technology will leap forward by generations." Professor Hudson grew more excited as he spoke. "Then let us split up. I will notify the director." Professor Zane agreed and immediately dialed the Research Institute director's phone. Professor Crawford had just gone to bed when the ringing woke him up. "Director Crawford, this is Zane." Hearing it was Professor Zane on the line, Crawford snapped wide awake. A call from someone of his stature in the middle of the night meant something major. Professor Zane realized the sudden call could cause panic, so he quickly explained, "Director, do not panic. It is good news. Someone has solved the Stokes equation. Our rocket technology is about to leap forward." Professor Crawford felt blood rushing to his head. "Say that again. I heard you correctly, right? You are sure the answer was posted on the technology forum?" "Professor Hudson and I have both verified it together. The answer is absolutely correct." "Wonderful. Who has this kind of ability? This is a huge help for us, but we have asked throughout the entire circle, and no one knows who this person is." "Professor Hudson has already called the administrator. We must find this person as soon as possible. We hope you will step in, Director, locate him quickly, and invite him to our institute. All future missile technology progress depends on him." "Understood. I will send people to investigate right now. No matter which institution he belongs to, we will triple our offer if we have to. We must recruit him. Other countries are pushing us too far. We must have advanced missiles to strike back hard." As director of the Missile Research Institute, Professor Crawford carries enormous pressure on his shoulders and even more bitter frustration in his heart. He is determined to develop advanced new missiles no matter what. Thank you. One more thing, we need to notify the National Security Bureau. We must monitor everyone who has accessed the answer to ensure our secrets do not leak out. The answer on the forum must be deleted immediately. This is core technology only our country possesses. It will play a major role in our aerospace development. We absolutely cannot let foreign countries know. Understood, I will handle it immediately. Professor Crawford hung up. He took several deep breaths to calm his nerves, then pinched his thigh hard. Ouch. So this was not a dream. That night, the entire scientific community of our country was sleepless, all discussing one shared topic, me and the Stokes equation. Meanwhile, at the Aerospace Academy, the lights stayed on all night too. Everyone was fully immersed in intense development work, completely unaware of what was happening elsewhere. They had even been split into 2 shifts working around the clock to produce the anti-gravity flight suit as fast as possible. The news of the Stokes equation being solved alerted many top leaders. Every expert who had seen the answer was quickly placed under strict surveillance. The answer was swiftly deleted. Forum administrators pulled up all my information, leaving every leader stunned. The results were simply unbelievable. A high school senior had surpassed them in mathematical mastery. There must be something wrong with this. Have them investigate again? How could they dare report something so absurd? But after repeated questioning, the answer remained the same. The technicians insisted the information was absolutely correct, unless the Aerospace Academy had deliberately uploaded fake records. But that was impossible. Professor Zane spoke up, "Stop asking. Honestly, the result makes perfect sense. Think about it. Why does no one in the entire academic circle know this person? It can only be a very young student with talent this strong. Even at the university level, he would have been noticed long ago. The Aerospace Academy was so eager to recruit him early, they must have discovered his extraordinary abilities." Hearing this, Professor Crawford grew anxious. If he were a math professor or a talented student elsewhere, where they could simply offer generous benefits to recruit him. But once he is inside the Aerospace Academy, recruiting him will not be easy. The Aerospace Academy has equally high demands for mathematical talent. They will absolutely hold on to someone like this and never let him go easily. Professor Hudson clearly realized this too, giving a bitter smile. If I am not wrong, a talent like this probably will not be coming to our institute. Crawford stomped his foot. No way, we cannot give up without trying. Tomorrow, I will personally go to the Aerospace Academy and recruit him. I will come with you. Only under our guidance can such a student reach his full potential. Professor Zane spoke with great enthusiasm. Exactly. When it comes to mathematics, no one in the country can match us. Although this student solved the Stokes equation through pure talent, his foundational knowledge surely is not as solid as ours. If we pass everything we know on to him, he will absolutely become the world's top mathematician. Not just for solving the Stokes equation and helping our missile technology, but also so our country, the mathematics world, finally has a successor. Generations of human knowledge have found an heir. Word of my breakthrough spread like wildfire. Suddenly, the Missile Research Institute wants me, and so does every major university. The entire city knows my name now. A math prodigy who cracked a world-class problem is suddenly the #1 target for every single institution.